Let's bring in Maria Teresa Kumar, the executive director of Voto, Latino. Ms. Kumar, what do you make of this? It's just like every day there's a new chapter to this story. Now they're going to be checking out the accents of teachers. Are you offended by this?
I think as Americans, we should all be offended by this. I mean, the little TV ad you showed with the frog is quite trite, and it actually, unfortunately, doesn't address the issues that are and concerns of 2 million Americans living in Arizona who happen to be Latino. It's racial profiling at its best, and unfortunately, the governor's tactic of trying to poke fun shame on the administration folks for not reading it, but shame on her for trying to make light of serious issues that disenfranchises Americans, let alone, we don't even have to get into the mess of illegals, but it really disenfranchises Americans, and that's a problem.
Does your organization, Voto Latino, support all of the boycotts that are taking place right now, the number of cities that have lined up against doing business with Arizona?
We've actually created a very comprehensive site, so folks can visit votolatino.org, and you can identify there's 18 cities so far that have joined the boycott, and there's joined the boycott in regards to actually spending money in Arizona, going to conventions, etc. And then we've also created a comprehensive list of how people can participate. What we can't do, Ed, is we can't allow the slippery slope where a group of Americans, all of a sudden, rights get taken away. You mentioned you mentioned Pierce just recently. What he's proposing is throwing out the Constitution, because anybody born based on the Constitution that's born here in the United States is a U.S. citizen. That's outrageous.
Do you think that deserves a federal response?
It absolutely does. We need comprehensive immigration reform. We need to secure our borders. Comprehensive immigration reform fundamentally is talking about three things: our national security, because it brings people out of the shadows. We need to know who's living here, and it secures our borders. It talks about the economy, because all of a sudden people who have a path to citizenship, they can pay fines and pay taxes that our coffers desperately need. And then finally, it actually makes sure that millions of people aren't exploited by, unscrupulous employers who want to actually make sure that wages are artificially suppressed.
Maria,
that's what we need.
Maria, these last two things that have come up, last two chapters of this, going after the teachers, evaluating them, and of course the birth of children in this country. Does this underscore, in your opinion, that this truly is a racist law?
It's disappointing, because I think what's happening is that the American public is saying, it's telling Congress, we need comprehensive immigration reform, and if you don't do it, we're going to look to the states so that they can start creating.
But it's taken on a tone of racism, hasn't it?
And it has, and it's disappointing, because I think it's hurtful and it's not constructive. We can't let our prejudice throw out the Constitution. We need smart policy, and we need leadership.
Maria, thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Ed.
You bet.